Here we are, back on the 05 Dyna, building myself a stunt bike again. We're gonna put on the ground, we're gonna set neck bearings, we're gonna get the last of the stuff dialed. It'll look really nice. It's gonna be challenging, but it'll pay off. We'll bleed the brakes on the floor, set the neck bearings on the floor. We will do a bunch of stuff on the floor. If you wanna get good at this, and you wanna really have fun stunt riding, you need to wreck. It's disappointing. We're going back inside. They don't bring any disappointment into your life at all. We out here at the lot. I'm gonna try this bike out a little bit. Here we are, back on the 05 Dyna, building myself a stunt bike again. We are back where we just put the Pro 1 trees on. That was in the last video. The front end is all pretty much back together. We still need to set the neck bearings. We're running the wiring now up through the trees. We had to pull that out of the backbone. Trent did that already this morning. I'm trying to fix, because this is a lowrider and it's got the gauges up here and it's got a ton of wiring coming out of the dash that really gets in the way over here. So we're trying to figure out a nice clean way to get all that around the shit so I don't get it caught in the steering stop. We're gonna do that. We're gonna put on the ground, we're gonna set neck bearings, we're gonna get the last of the stuff dialed, fire it up, and see how the Thundermax tune is, and do a little riding. It's gonna be a fun day. I don't have a lot of slack here, and I don't want this getting pinched in these between the guys and getting pinched off. It's for this guy up here, which I think I'm just gonna get rid of my indicator lights. I can't get to those unless I pop that thing off. I could just pop them off and stick the whole thing up inside here and just tuck it underneath here and get rid of it. Because right now, the indicators, these little dummy lights up here that tell you like when you're in neutral or if you have oil pressure or you don't, which I don't need any of that stuff because I know if I'm in neutral or not, and I can hear my motor when it doesn't have oil pressure. It's pretty obvious with a Harley Davidson. They make a shitload of noise, and that light only comes on for 5 PSI anyways, or less. So if I could get rid of this dude right here, then I could run all this stuff nicely behind the angle kit stop, because we've got our steering angle kit on this, so I got a ton of steering angle for drifting, and that's about it. So we gotta take this dude off, pull that some beach out there, and we'll stuff it up under here. And go from there. I'm pretty tired also. All right, let's go. So this is the indicator lights. It's just a bunch of straight up light bulbs, and these are the things that are actually colored in this plate. And here's the wiring, black with white lettering on every one of them. So if you ever want to rewire this, you're pretty well forked. You're forked right in the A.
I tried to do that on Rosita a while back. Found out real fast I couldn't do it.
Nah.
So she didn't have indicator lights.
You'd have to like.
You just label them?
I mean, if you wanted to get crazy.
You want to label every single one of them, I guess so. But how do you know which one's negative and positive? And
You make a little diagram?
no,
That's just more effort than it.
No.
that'd be way more effort than it would be worth for sure. Pop that dude back on there. There it is. It's gone. It is unnecessary. I don't need it. I'm going to put a fueling oil pressure gauge on the handlebars once I have the archetype risers on.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. And oil pressure gauge is about the only thing that I'd like to have gauge-wise anyways. That's it, actually. You don't need anything else. Don't run a Speedo on anything. My Nightster is probably the only thing I've ever had a Speedo on, but it doesn't work anymore because I removed the ABS. And let me tell you what, don't remove the ABS from your Nightster because it causes a massive amount of problems. I thought because I put an exhaust on it, I was losing a bunch of power. Well, it turns out the exhaust actually makes about 10 horsepower putting it on a bike that doesn't have the RDRS, completely losing its mind because I unhooked the freaking ABS module. So I got to put the ABS module back in my bike because it's in some freak out. You have all the modes on the Nightsters where it says mode up on top. Mine just has this big caution thing. So it's like, instead of going vroom, it goes vroom, 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 and kind of surges its way through. So it's in like a half a limp mode where it still runs, it's still powerful, but it ain't nothing like it was. I thought I'd smoked the motor or something, but nope. Just gotta put the ABS back in it. All right, that's a big old wad of shit down right there. Let's everything fit up under yonder. I just need all this stuff to stay down out of the way until I get this thing back on.
Oh, it's going right under the gauge.
We stuff it up in here, in between the two, go up in front of that bracket. Yep. Well, this is not really working out. Might have to snip it. There's not as much room in there as I was hoping for. I hate this rubber shit. I usually just take it off, but...
You could depin, you can get rid of that plastic shit. Just depin all the bulbs.
Shove them up in there?
Yeah, and then you lose that whole big plastic obnoxious thing.
Oh, Trent is yanking the light bulbs right out of her to make some more room, make it a little more roomy. What in the
This big plug right here.
These plugs, these gauges are about to go all together. There's got to be a place for that cocksucker to go.
What about up in here, this dead area up here?
That's what one would think, but it won't go up in there. Put a screw in right here for me. This is not fun. There's a whole lot of dumb wiring back there in the way. That's good. I need to get much more out of the way, so I'm not pinching it. Where's the bolts for the top? Let's just seize this cocksucker down. Get that rubber fixed on that side over there. Figure out a way to pull these dudes back in here and keep them behind this, which I think I may have found it. Went through the gas tank right here, gas tank bracket. I'm gonna just double cross over this guy. Oh, there it is. Solid as a rock, steady. Give me them clippers. Look at that. All out the way, except for this is a vent line that I don't give a shit about. You can get smashed all day long. Everything looks nice and pretty.
You could probably pull more back in there if you wanted to.
You got more slack back there? Don't want to pull any handlebar wiring in. That seems like it. That'll do. Where's my rubber doodad that goes in this side?
It's up there somewhere. It just popped. Oh, it's right here on this side by your axle.
This guy right here has a little hook in it, and you wrap a zip tie around it, and you zip tie all the wiring, and then this pops in and holds it over into place. I'm just going to use it to hold this gauge wiring and leave the handlebars loose so they got lots of movement, but it'll keep it over tight like a tiger. Tank cover's coming too.
Ooh, wow, that was full.
My front brakes suck really bad, but we're gonna redo all this stuff when I build the other front end, so I don't want to really put a lot into it. You know what? How about you just finger tight the brake caliper up there, let's sucker dry and put a good caliper. We're just gonna do the brakes, to hell with it. I need good brakes. I got a brake line. I got some bagger Brembos, we'll throw one of those on. Oh, after putting this guy in right here, we'll have to zip tie around it, if I can. Put a nice bend in her. It's like that carrot disease. I think it's called penis carrot or carrot penis or something. Get one of them bad bends. So around that she goes. Now through this dude. Now, I'm gonna try and get to it from the other side. Got it out this side. You can hear me? I'm gonna shove the rubber dude in. Now I'm gonna take this dude that's hanging out over here. Just pull her tight. That locks in my harness to that rubber thing, which pulls them all together, so now it should stay nice and tight where she is. I gotta cut that excess off, make it look pretty. Normally we don't even run them, we just shove the wiring back in there and call it good, but I wanna keep this wiring out of the way of the steering angle kit. You know, you don't wanna get pinched. I also gotta reroute the clutch cable to get around the steering. Oh, could have cost me some teeth to get around the steering angle kit. Like when you put a steering angle kit on, don't just go throwing it on there and not paying attention to all the rest of the shit. Make sure that everything's gonna work and clear. You're not gonna pinch anything when you go on that big steering angle.
Whatever
issues I'm having right now. That's actually pretty good. That should stay out the way, I think. Call that good. Clutch cable, everything runs up through this nice slot that they put in the Pro 1 triple trees straight out the box, which Wheelie kind of thought of all that stuff already, which is really nice. I just need to readjust. I really want to change out this clutch cable to a bagger auto adjust all the way around because I love those, and then run the adjustable shit up here, which would be sick too. I'm gonna grab a caliper. Where did I put them? Right here. Yes, these are bagger Brembo calipers, which fork and shoot. I don't have the.
We should have the mounts.
I should have stock ones,
check
didn't
the
I?
brake.
Didn't I?
You probably no. We had to reuse them for your brackets for the radials. The short guy is way too long.
Yeesh.
Yeah, and then it mounts at the top of the caliper.
Yeesh. That's a short one.
Yeah.
sucks. I found one AR penis. I'm gonna run this in the top one and a stock one in the bottom, only because, so I remember that I have this. So when I switch this over to dual discs, I know that I only have to buy 3 of them instead of buying 4, because otherwise I'll just continuously have this really expensive 1 bolt laying around. So this is my method for remembering. Man, look how cooked those brake pads are from doing rollers. Do we have brake pads for fuck it. I'm gonna run these until we switch all the way over, and then I'll change them both out. I don't want mismatched shit when the time comes.
We might have to get fancy with the routing on one of the lines you got.
Is that one gonna work?
I mean, no, we don't have any. We have way too short or that long one. I mean, we're gonna swap all this brake shit out anyway. I don't know if you want to buy a line. Just
I don't really want to buy a line to have to swap it out later, but I hate rolling around on hack shit at the same time. Oh man, can you run it right up through here and then run it up through there and over?
no.
Too long, right?
Yeah.
Run it down through the center. Oh god. No, it's fucked. It's 10 miles too long.
That's even longer.
It's about this much too long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna measure how much I want to take off of this one. You always want to make sure when you're measuring brake cables that your suspension is fully extended. You don't want to measure your brake cable when your bike's sitting on its weight, because then the shit's going to be too short when the thing extends. So always jack the front up, make sure this thing's all the way up, there's no sag. So I need, say, 8 inches shorter. I need 8 inches off this dude. Tom, you haven't left yet? That's good. I'm gonna need some ramjet running. This is a 42, so I need a 34. Oh, thank God. Those things never come out easy. That's a first. I'm also gonna reroute the throttle cables. I think I'm gonna run them up through these 2 fancy holes right here that's in the tree. I'm gonna try and put everything coming up out of the tree so it looks really nice. It'll look really nice. It's gonna be challenging, but it'll pay off. Man, I wish they'd come up with something better than this shit. Like, these feral things suck. This is a 20-year-old bike, I guess, but still the same stuff, even on the new ones. Well, the ones that nothing's cable anymore, is it? So I guess they did come out with something new. They got rid of cable altogether, which is nice. People complain about fly-by-wire, but goddamn, it's nice. I'm all about it. Fly-by-wire is really nice because you don't have to do any of this bullshit. You don't have throttle cables ruining the look of your bike. And if you tune the shit right, it's pretty dead on. And it's really smooth. I think the people that don't like are the people that can't tune. Or don't, well, I mean, I can't tune, but I got people that can tune for me that are really good at it. Trass Performance, they can tune it out really nice. Motor Witch tunes it out real nice. Especially the new fuel injection, there's no delay. Okay, so let's see here. Idle is usually longer than throttle. I believe that's the way she goes. Nope, throttle's a long one. So I'm gonna take the long one, try and sneak it up this hole. Although that looks a lot thinner than down here than it does up there. Does it taper down? Oh, it's because I got that bracket on there. Son of a beeswax. Come on, baby. Get in the fucking hole. Oh, she won't fit. Going up the middle. Come on, get in there for me. Yes, yeah, yes. Beautiful. All right, that's a much better look. It's idle, throttle. That dude's got a nice bend in her, which makes it real easy to work with. All right, so far so good. That's looking a lot better so far. All right, we have to take it down and spin it around, make sure everything's clearing, check my neck bearings. Trent's putting on a different kickstand. It is Drag Specialties. This is just a 1-inch extension kickstand because we put some serious suspension in this thing. It's gonna be a lot taller and it's gonna lean real stupid, and that kinda, I know it looks kinda cool, but it kinda sucks for your bike, especially if it's idling. We tend to like pump fuel, especially carbureted bikes. They kind of flood out the cylinders and cause damage. And when you go check your oil is gonna be absolutely wrong. So I want my bike to sit proper. I also don't want it falling over in a parking lot when it's hot out here in Arizona because the kickstands melt right into the blacktop. So this is it. These are only like 60 bucks or something. They're real cheap. They're on the website. This is an easy fix. You got them in black and chrome for pretty much every model of thing out there. I'm gonna run some brake lines. That's a big old stretch. Got a lot of stuff down in this triple tree right there. Beautiful. Do a little lock up here, little adjustments. Get some tools. This one I'm just gonna tighten, and then the one up there we're gonna have to take out and we're gonna have to clock it right so we don't get any twists in the line and stuff like that. I like to use a croissant wrench. But you know what, I have nice AN fitting wrenches. I could use that. That'd be nice softer, I guess, but I've never caused any damage to any of these doing it this way, and it works pretty easy. Good and tight. I'm gonna bolt this dude up. Oh, I need some banjo fittings. Little crush washer. I'm gonna set this dude just out just a little bit, make sure it stays away from the tire, nice and flush. Up to the top. This one's a little more tricky. I haven't put a single disc front end on in a lot of years. Not on purpose anyway. So this guy, you want to take it off. Don't just go screwing this thing on here. You'll twist up the brake line and it'll look like shit. Get this dude threaded on, sort of loosely. She just snug down. Now ideally, we want it to be just like that once it's tight, so everything runs nice and smooth, like, right? When we go to tighten it, it's going to turn, so we want to bring it back to like here. See? She don't fit. This can take a few tries sometimes. We'll just stick something through the hole and hold on to her. Let's see if I got her right. Yeah, see, I was like getting a weird groove in it. I need to twist it just a little bit more. This time I'm not going to put so much extra turn on it. So right there is where I want to be. Go just a little bit, more about 1/8 of an inch back to where I have about 1/8 of an inch of rotation on it when I tighten everything. Got my Earl's AN fitting wrench here. All right, looks pretty good. Pretty dead on. Now it's time to put it on the floor. We'll bleed the brakes on the floor, set the neck bearings on the floor. We will do a bunch of stuff on the floor. I gotta pull off the passenger pegs. I forgot about that. I don't run them on my stunt bike. I feel like it's a liability. I also need the passenger pegs for foot pegs because I don't have any foot pegs at the moment. Really love this gun. I think it's a beast. These guys right here, like they're all wore out down here, so they sit like this. So I'm just gonna run these dudes for a bit. Pro tip, these guys, you go like this. So she sits on there flush, and when you push it in there, it'll slide right into place. Ta-da, ta-da. All right, now she's going down the ground. Is this dude still made up? Once I get rid of this guy, it does. There we go. We only got no brakes. This will be fun. Ooh, that thing's got some angle. Look at that. Yay! Turn it around. Ugh. See how that kickstand works out. Ooh, she's still got a little bit of gangster lean, but man, imagine what it'd be like with a lowrider kickstand. Whew. Inconceivable. That looks good. Cables are good. Things looking pretty good. Bearings aren't looking too good. I gotta hook this shit up still. All right. I'm gonna hook up the cables first. I'm gonna set the neck bearings, which they feel kind of nice the way they are right now. I'll probably just set everything up. Adjust the clutch. Suck some brake fluid. Hopefully I got better brakes, just because the other thing was, I was hitting my hand before I even got any brake pressure, so I couldn't do rollers or any of that type of stuff, which this gutless thing is probably gonna be a struggle anyways, but we'll figure it out. Oh, she's sucking real good.
I'm not seeing much fluid come out of here yet, but
She was moving. Yeah, she's moving-ish. Yeah, it feels good. Really gnarly, actually. Hopefully she didn't just walk up on me. Spin the wheel. Oh yeah, that's like, yay, yay. Man, it's amazing what some fluid in a fresh caliper can do. Mow tool, RBF 660. This has a super high boiling rate. This is what we all run in the stunt riding world, so you don't boil your brakes. It helps. Doesn't stop it, but it's a higher boiling rate than like .5 or 4, regular .4. So close. You also want to rotate your shit all the way and make sure she snaps back. You got full snap all the way around. That steering angle. Whoop. Bop, 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 bop. Now if I just had the motor and a chain to go along with it, I think even just a chain should be better.
as long as there's something to
yeah.
slide on the tubes.
I want these to stay where they're at, so I'm going to keep the bottom ones loose. So as long as you have a top or bottom loose when you tighten the neck bearings, you got to have one or the other. You can't have both these tight or you're not adjusting neck bearings at all. It needs to be able to, the stem needs to be able to move up and down. So I'm leaving the bottom ones loose because I want these flush, and then we'll adjust with these. But she feels, I'm going to go with that. She feels good. Give her a little tug, make sure it ain't got any slop in it. Calling it good. Whoa, man. That was the last we saw, Ryan. I haven't rode anything with angle like this. I mean, it's our angle kit, but my Dyna had an inverted front end on it, which I'll never do that shit on a Dyna again, especially a stunt bike. You can't pull any more angle out of it. You're just stuck with what you got because the trees, it's all built into the trees basically and how that worked out. So I'm excited to have some angle. Because when you run out of angle, that's when you high side. If you got angle for days, you can just walk this thing down the road as long as you're putting enough RPMs into the shit.
It takes that fear out of it too, like being able to turn in. Like if you've like kicked your bike out and hit the steering stops and you know there's nothing left, it's a terrifying feeling because the bike starts to like
That's when you just
come over,
put it to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta full throttle that bitch right then and there, or you are busted.
But
or
with this,
get on the brakes really hard. Whatever you can do to get the tire to slide. Normally, as soon as I start the high side, I just dive into it and I brake, and get it to slide back into it again. Kind of like hand braking a drift car and reinitiating. I drift my bike really hard on the sidewall. I don't stay up very much. Like a lot of guys, I would say the majority of people drift a little more up and down and a little more heavy on the throttle. I like to be way leaned over, so I'm light throttle, and you're most likely gonna low side is about the worst of it. But back to the new angle and haven't rode an angle kit, I've also never rode a one-hander with the bars turned back like that aggressive.
It takes some getting used to, but it's a cheat code, dude. You could get deeper in the hand drag because you're already laid back more. And then when you extend out, you can like, that's how I could hit elbows.
Oh yeah, because I mean a hand drag's only like right here.
Yeah,
about.
And you're farther back, and then yeah, you could really lay back into it.
I wonder what it's in relevance to my monkey. Hold on.
Oh, it's deeper than mine. Mine's
Is
like
it?
right here, yeah.
Well, you also got risers and shit though.
True, mine are, yeah. But yeah, it's like.
My monkey's out just a little bit farther, and my monkey, like, I could hand drag a 110. It's a little sketchy because I'm pretty heavy for drum brakes on a 110. But this thing, like, second gear on the street, I can just lean back and just drag my hand on the ground and hand drag beautifully and keep going. And this thing, this is the hand drag machine. But it's more out past my leg. This is into my leg. Which, I mean, we'll figure it out.
You'll get used to it. It's not that bad.
Don't like these foot pegs, I'll tell you. Dude, they feel slender. We really need some pegs. Oh my God, dude, that's a lot. Like that's, I don't think I could ever even use that much steering angle. Mine, I used to just take it to lock and let it smack and then just and then I would just pull the bike up and down to steer. I might decrease it a little bit, but we'll try it out. I might bring it into the other one.
It is a heavy amount of angle on that.
I got a lot of rear fender to grind through. I love grinding out a rear fender with the street. It's like one of my favorite things to do. It's really fun. It's really, really fun having a stock fender. But doing one-handers and shit with a stock fender is not safe because it is not deep enough for that type of shit, but we try it out. I don't like this way 0405 sit either, with the seats always back really far and deep. I don't like that, but I've also been riding a Nightster, which is back like that, and this feels pretty good to me. The Wheelie Woo Pro 1 trees bring you back just a little bit too, so this feels pretty nice. It'd be nice to have some archetypes and be up just a little bit more. Even like getting up here, I feel weird. I think I might have them a little more on the straight side of things too. I
like my straight risers. Like for being up on the tank, the straight risers get them out of your lap, you know? Like
yeah, like right here, I feel like
there,
this shit's on my lap. God, it's a good looking motorcycle though. I got brakes. Where's my little rubber thingy? I'm super glad that it's covered in Kruesi Originals protection because it's a real beautiful bike and I don't want to fork it off, so I can let her sail on down the road. All right, well, I need to check the oil. If you want to have real fun, put some quality parts that make it perform well, but don't make it pretty, because once you make them real pretty, you start worrying about it being pretty, and then it's not that fun. Or get a whole bunch of, you know, our crash bar, sliders, all that shit, so you don't really have to worry about wrecking it, because if you want to get good at this, and you want to really have fun stunt riding, you need to wreck.
A lot.
You gotta wreck a lot. You need to, it's part of it. It's kind of the fun of it, you know, like when you're drifting, it goes to shit, just let it go. Watch this turning radius. Whoop! Ooh, Walt. You get the door for me, Trenton? Oh, off.
Oh
Come on, dude. My jumper's in my fucking truck. We're gonna give her a push. Every goddamn bike of mine, the fucking batteries are dead all the time. This thing, we just charged it. Fucking clutch don't want to let go. Oh yeah, the clutch won't let go at all. Come on, you motherfucker. It's disappointing. I'm going back inside. I'm dirty old son of a bitch. I'm gonna throw a fit. Fucking flip the out. My bike ain't gonna be so pretty here in a few minutes. I'm freaking out, man. There's no reason the battery should be dead. It says I got 12.2 volts, which means the battery's fully charged. And it's going tick, 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 which normally when they click and shit the bed like that, and you got volts, it's because you got a loose terminal or bad ground, which that dude's loose-ish. So that's always the first thing to check. Usually a bad ground. But see now that motherfucker's loose. Everything is probably loose. Can't get to the goddamn ground without pulling the fucking thing apart. It's convenient. Quarter up, quarter. Yep. She's got fluid down in it. Yeah. It was a little loose. I think we're good to go. Fixed. She's forking fixed. It's the little things. It's always the little things that test the patience the most. Just a loose battery terminal, which, you know, who knows how long that battery's been in the bike. I should have checked all that stuff when I bought the bike, but, you know, check it when you need to, I feel like. Look at that. Isn't that magical? I know I definitely never took this off because I would have cleaned that. One more try, governor. It's a little snug, but that definitely has a lot more spring in its step.
A lot more pep in the step.
Oh, come on, baby. Fire right up for me. Kind of sounds like the starter's going to shit, actually. I love motorcycles so much. They bring any disappointment into your life at all.
Never. Nothing but pure joy and happiness.
Yeah, nothing, never a bad time, you know. I got 12.4 fucking volts here, you piece of shoot. You shoot box. That's just what I want. Nice 8,900 mile beautiful stock bike with a fucking starter that don't work. This thing's been starting and running beautifully. I rode it one damn time. So I don't know how easy it is to push start a fuel injected bike. Do they push start? There was a time on my old gold bike, if anybody knows the Pusue Magneto, that was my, whoa, shit, that thing rolls nice. I wasn't expecting that. I like leaned into it to give it a good old Harley heave-ho, you know, and she just started rolling nice on me. But there was a time on my very first Dyna I ever had and built for myself that I lost the keys and I had it hot wired. So then the battery was toast. For like 6 months, I was just push starting my bike because I was too lazy to put a starter in it and too busy at the shop to work on my own shit. Oh, she's good. If your starter goes out and you don't have a chain drive on your bike, it's time to just do the whole thing at once because it's the almost same amount of work to put a starter in. You got to pull the same amount of stuff apart. Yeah, minus the rear wheel, minus putting the, you know, sprocket on the back wheel. That's the only extra work you have to do a chain drive. So if you got to put a starter in, chain it. It's a good time. Could let it charge for a little bit and see what happens, but I don't really want to take a little bit. I'd like to get after this. If I rode it for a little bit, she might juice up and get going. This will start a semi truck. It says the battery's at 12.8. So battery's definitely shot. That sounds a little goofy. And it feels
Really hooked up.
Yeah, feels really hooked up and real fucking goofy up front. I don't think I like the lowrider fucking raked out front end. Yeah, they're fucking gnarly. I can't get it to come around for shit. Yeah, it feels like shit all the way around. That tire sucks. I'm not a fan of Michelin Commander 3s. Yeah, it's just like hooked up all the way around. And this parking lot's so, oh man, clutch is pulsing. This parking lot is slick. So for me to not be able to like get it to slide out here, it should slide easily. This tire is like, I got 30 PSI in it too. That's a lot more than I normally run. My clutch lever's pulsing too. Look at that thing. See that? I think the clutch basket's loose. Look at my clutch lever.
Oh shit.
It's walking in and out. That's usually a good sign that your clutch up nut's loose. I don't want to shut it off and never get her started again. It's better. It's got a little bit of an intake leak too. It's coughing back a little bit. Definitely better. I like to take it to the lot and get like some shoes on I don't care about. And all right, we're gonna get loaded up. We're gonna go to the lot. We'll give her a real test there. And I want to ride some wheelies on it. That's where she really shines. But I can get the hang of it. I also haven't drifted a Harley in 8 months, or a Dyna. I mean, bagger's way easier. We out here at the lot. I'm gonna try this bike out a little bit. I think she'll be dialed for the wheelies. I don't know about the drifting, but it'll be a good day of me learning how to do this again, you heard? I haven't rode a bike that I've had to work this hard in a long time with like a stock motor to like clutch it up. I gotta like really work to get it up, and to drift it I really gotta work to drift. And I've been real spoiled with the horsepower and the chain drives and the clutch. The clutch in this is I keep having to adjust it. I think it's getting cooked. It probably won't last the day, but I got one at the shop. We'll make some moves. Scraping my foot peg and scraping the bottom of my shit, like there's no power. It just won't roll through. It feels good though. Actually, I've had this fun drifting a bike around a long time.
Stock motor, dude, that sucks.
It's yeah, stock motor sucks. It's also kind of nice how this thing just lays out flat with all that angle. You can just lay it on its side and just, I think you're going pretty wide there pretty good.
Yeah.
It feels fully in control the whole time. It's a lot of fun. It's spraying some oil from somewhere. But look at that shit, dude. Scraping that thing in the drifts. On the absolute sidewalk. Just wore out. I need to cut the fender for sure. It's fun to scrape it a bunch of times, but I can't do anything else because the fender's in the way. So she needs a change. She needs a clutch. It's working me way too hard. And that seat is really old and a little sun dry rotted and a little slick. And I need some things.
Yeah, a little refresh.
Yeah, I'm like sliding back in the seat every time I clutch in. I can't stay up on it. And it's just she needs a little pick me up. I'm gonna have to chain it, clutch it, put a Kruesi subframe in the back. At least get those things dialed in before I be riding it anymore. Because right now it's a struggle and my back is on fire. Just fire. It's a lot of work. Still a lot of fun. Like it feels good to drift it. The angle is dope. I'm gonna take some angle out of it. Yeah. I tried to like go back to one-hander. I can't even like bring the bars to lock to. I don't like that.
It is
shit.
really far on that. Like it's deeper than mine too.
Yeah, it's crazy deep. And like I'm not even getting close to using it all.
Yeah.
Like drifting, even like laid way out, dude. I'm like, I still got a long ways to go, and I kind of like to bring it to lock so I can pull the bar up, the bike up and down and shit. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go one more position up, a little less angle. There's a whole lot of stuff to come with this bike. Whole lot of stuff to come with the Nysters. We'll do some more stuff with the bagger. Whole lot of stuff.
In other news, I feel really good on the bike.
Hey, look good.
I'm feeling real good.
The parking lot's nice and clean. Somebody must have come out here with the street sweeper again and cleaned it up because it was
Yeah.
terrible last time we were here. It was like we brought the Nysters out here and it was just dirt and fucking unrideable, honestly. But I felt good. I felt good on the bike. Like,
Yeah.
feels good to slide it. That seat's like old as seat before we had tri-gripper or any of that shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Phoenix Sun, probably 5 years old, and it's just cooked and it's slick. Like the gripper's pretty much gone off of her, but yeah, the bike feels good. Handlebar setup sucks. Like trying to drift, I feel like it's in my lap.
Yeah.
When I try and go right, I'm like, the bike's coming out.
Especially with all that angle, it's literally like in your gut.
Yeah, I'm like right here, and I can't keep the like sit down into the bike and kind of relax. I want to have a little more bar up in front of me, just a little bit.
I felt really good. I'm in a good mood because I felt really good on the bike and got a side saddle limiter coaster.
That's a sketchy one.
We'll pull that one out sometime.
So yeah, we're gonna go unload the trailer that Trent's got parked right there, packed full of his shit, and
I'm moving.
yeah,
They're helping.
And then I gotta go home and have a meeting with a UFC fighter. See if he wants a piece of rock. Kruesi Originals. Peace!